Hey everybody, and welcome to DigInYall. Today we're going to be serving up some good old party favorites. We're going to be making a couple of cocktails because that makes every party a little bit more fun. Look forward to seeing y'all, and come back now. Hey everybody, and welcome back. We're gonna go ahead and get started right away with a cocktail because, you know, that kind of loosens me up, loosens you up, gets us all having a lot of fun. So we're gonna start off with that. Instead of doing your typical mint julep, I went and grabbed some mint out of the yard today. And I think what we're gonna do is, I don't wanna water down my drink with simple syrup. So we've got some mint in here. I'm gonna take a spoon and kind of crush it up a little bit. Kind of get those oils going and get that juice going, and it really smells good. Mint's one of those things that you can really grow in pretty much any yard, any window box, anything. It's kind of a weed in the South, so it makes things kind of easy to do. I really think that's how we ended up making mint juleps all the time. Just throw some ice in a glass, and anybody who knows me knows there's always a bottle of Jack close by. So we're just gonna go ahead and pour a little Jack over the rocks, got a little bit of mint going, and this is gonna make everything today go a whole heck of a lot smoother. You know, when we're talking about party favorites and party dishes, one of the things I often think about is I spent some time teaching summer school in Dallas, and well, I walked into this house one day and there was this incredible smell of bacon. I mean, come on, who doesn't love bacon? You know, I always have a jar of bacon grease sitting right by my stove. I'm always frying up bacon. I'm always cutting it up. There's always bacon in the fridge. There's always bacon bits in my house. You know, bacon and bourbon, good combo, just in case you hadn't thought about it. But I walked into this house in Dallas, and there was this great smell of bacon going, and I thought, gosh, what the heck are we getting ready to have? And I thought it was gonna be some big catered affair. Well, come to find out, Betty Ray was simply making her bacon wraps. And ever since then, I kind of stole this very, very simple, very easy recipe from her, and it's made parties a hit. Because let's face it, who doesn't love bacon? And who doesn't love cheese? Who doesn't love garlic? I mean, come on now. So we took a real simple pack of cream cheese and we're gonna throw it in here. And we're just gonna grab some onions. And you can use about a half an onion. We're gonna throw that in there, dice it up a little bit. We went out in the yard today and grabbed some good old chives. Everybody who knows me knows I love chives and I love green onions. Now, here's a tip about green onions. When you're going with green onions, go to the store, find ones with good root on them, throw them in a pot. They grow, they keep coming back, they get going, and then you've got green onions, and you don't need to keep going to the store for them. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna grab our little knife here, and we're just gonna go ahead and start rough chopping some of these up. So we're just gonna keep on doing this. We're gonna get these good and small, little bite size. You can use as much as you want. You can use as much as a cup and as little as a half a cup, depending upon if you're kind of afraid of onions or you don't want your guests to smell like them. Personally, I don't care, because let's face it, I'm getting ready to put in so much garlic that they're all gonna smell anyway. So we're just gonna take that and throw that in there. We're gonna take some of my roasted garlic. We're just gonna throw that in. Man, that smells good. You know, with roasted garlic, you can use as much or as little as you want. Again, if you're me, you're using a whole heck of a lot. I mean, look at that. We're just gonna go ahead and mix this up. And meanwhile, we've taken a loaf of white bread. Yep, you heard it. How much more, well, simple can you get than that? We've just kind of taken this and we've mixed this up a little bit, and we've got this going. Real simple, real easy. We've cut the crust off with some white bread. And we're just gonna take this and smear it over white bread. I mean, look how simple that is. Now, when I do this, I can usually double or triple this recipe, depending upon how many people are coming over. But you're thinking already, well, where's the bacon? How's this gonna work? Well, it's really, really simple. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna slap this over a few pieces of bread. There's one green onion, it's gonna be a little unfriendly to a guest, so we're gonna pull that out. Now that we've done that, we're gonna grab a slice of bacon. We're gonna take one of these suckers and we're just gonna roll it up. This is a finger messy project, so for those of you who are faint at heart, you know, this is not the project for you. And you're just gonna wrap. I mean, look at this, how simple this is. We're gonna wrap that up just like that. And we're gonna keep on doing that with our bread. Now, you know, you can do pretty much almost a half a loaf of white bread with this, what we have here. And you're gonna throw these onto a cookie sheet. Make sure you don't use one of the flat ones. Make sure you have ones with sides on it, because what's gonna happen is all the grease from this bacon is gonna soak into this bread and it's gonna be absolutely delicious. We're just gonna throw these on right here. And we're gonna roll these up. You know somebody is at home freaking out right now because I'm touching bacon, bare hands. Somebody's gonna scream about that. Dad, you're not being safe in the kitchen. Not really worried about that right now. We're doing some good stuff and it's all gonna be delicious. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wrap these up, throw them on our pan, and we're gonna throw them in an oven, 350 for about 20 minutes or so. And you are gonna smell, your bread is gonna start toasting. There's gonna be grease from this bacon. It's gonna be absolutely delicious. Now, the best part about this is this cream cheese is actually gonna kind of puff up and swell up a little bit. And it's gonna be really, really good. So when we come back in a few minutes, we're gonna go over all of this stuff. We're gonna make an incredible olive tapenade. We're gonna throw these puppies in the oven. And then we're gonna do one of my other favorites, a really quick, easy, and fast crab. Go pour yourself a drink and come back and see us. Dig in, y'all. And welcome back. Well, we've wrapped up a couple of more of these bacon rolls, bacon cheese rolls. We're gonna do one more, and then we're gonna pop them in the oven. So we're just gonna go ahead and spread that last one, use every last bit of that cream cheese, and more importantly, the garlic. We all know that's what I really like. Just gonna, again, take this last one and roll it up. Doesn't matter if the bread tears a little bit because, you know, you're gonna be wrapping it in yumminess. So just take your bacon, wrap it up right, real good. And you can overlap that bacon and make sure that we can kind of be good in there and cover that whole piece of bread, because that bread's gonna soak up all that goodness, and that bread is gonna soak up all that grease, and it's gonna toast this bread. So not only are you gonna get good bacon flavor, you're gonna get toasted bread and garlic. I mean, come on, there's nothing wrong with that. So remember, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna throw these in an oven on 350 for about 15 minutes. Keep an eye on these because they go from almost done to burned pretty quick. So this is one of those little party things that you need to keep an eye on, but boy, everybody who's there is gonna love every minute of them. We're gonna go ahead and throw these in the oven. We're gonna let those go. Don't forget though, use a pan with sides on it because that bacon is gonna make some grease. And if you use one of those flat air bake pans, you're gonna end up with grease all over the bottom of your oven and heaven forbid even a fire in your oven. I'm not gonna tell you how I know that little story. You know, we've gotten a lot of questions lately via Twitter and Facebook. So we're gonna go back to that first episode. I got asked over and over again, you talked about this garlic, you talked about roasting all this garlic. Why didn't you tell us how to do it? My fault, my bad, whatever you want to say. Maybe it was the bourbon that day. Anyway, really, really easy. Take a full head of garlic, peel out that paper outer layer, go ahead and put your oven on about 400. Just cut the top, maybe quarter off the top of that head of garlic, throw it in some tin foil, drizzle some olive oil all over it, close it up and throw it in your oven. Make sure you're not cutting the top of that garlic off while it's on top of your foil. You want to wait and go ahead and at the very end, after you've cut it off, put it inside the foil and wrap it up. Now look, this takes about anywhere from 25 to 35 minutes. I've left mine in the oven as long as 45. It all depends on kind of how caramelized you want your garlic. And remember, you can chop it up like I do and put it in olive oil. You can chop it up, you can leave it whole. A lot of my guests will show up on a Sunday and just grab the garlic right out of the oven, and they're gonna turn around and look for a piece of bread. What I love doing with it. Take that garlic, squeeze the bottom of that garlic, and the whole thing is just gonna pop right out. It'll be absolutely delicious. Hot olive oil, hot roasted garlic. It's all good. So let's be sure we do that. And then the other thing that I got asked over and over and over again was, what do we do with this now that we've got it? Well, it'll stay in your refrigerator for about a week. Now, what I do is when I roast that garlic and put it in the fridge, I'm using it mostly to put in salads or put in other things that I'm cooking. Quite often, I'll actually take it and I'll blend it down in a food processor with a little extra olive oil, and I'll actually keep it on the side and I'll cook with it all week. So get creative. There's no rule. There's no set way to do this. Remember, I want you to be comfortable in your kitchen. I want you to have memories in your kitchen. If you burn something, trust me, your kids are going to remember that. So it's not that hard of a thing to do. Let's kind of get busy and get going. The next thing that we're going to do, though, is some fast and easy crab dip. Let's face it, we're going to go back to it again. Crab, cheese, garlic, mayo. The Southern boy's dream. So let's just go ahead and whip one of those up real quick. We're going to grab we're going to use the same bowl because, you know, we're getting ready to plan a party. We don't want to be doing dishes for 8 or 10 hours. Let's go ahead and just dump in our chunk of softened cream cheese. Never really very appealing when you look at it like this, but once you mix it up, it really gets good. We're gonna go for, of course, our garlic. And again, I'm not gonna tell you how much to measure out. Just throw a bunch in there till you think it looks good. Remember, if it's me, you're getting a lot of garlic. So we've done that. We're gonna throw that in there. We're gonna throw in, again, about a half a cup of onion, or a quarter of an onion, whatever you want. Again, I'm gonna go back to my favorite, chives from the garden. So we're gonna grab these chives over here from the garden. We're gonna grab a little bit of fresh parsley because, you know, the green stuff makes it all good. We're just gonna go ahead and just kind of, again, rough chop all this, get it going. I'd chop my finger just for an Emmy at this point. Say blood brings it on. So we've got some rough cut greens going on here. You can just take that and pick them up and throw it in there with it. Now, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, we talked about crab meat. We're not getting cheap or stingy on this. We want to use really good crab meat. So instead, typically a recipe calls for about 6, maybe 8 ounces of lump crab meat, or actually they usually call for claw meat, which is a little bit cheaper. And if you're on a budget, go for it. But we're gonna use, well, pretty much a pound of lump crab meat at this point. We're just gonna dump that in there like that. We're gonna go back to the other Southern boy favorite, and we're gonna grab some mayo. If I can find my spoon here. You can use about a half a cup of mayo. And again, there's no rhyme or reason to this. And remember, folks, when I measure, it's a really loose approximation. We're not baking here. So again, it's about flavor. Looks like half a cup, more or less. Any of you remember that rum cake that we did a couple of weeks ago? Measuring rum was not exactly a precise science either. And now we're gonna grab some Swiss cheese. Now I've grated about a cup of Swiss cheese here. We're just gonna take this and throw this in here. And look how difficult this is. We're just gonna sit here and stir this up. I mean, come on, how easy is this? You've got all this creamy, white, fatty, delicious goodness. And I gotta tell you a real secret. You should actually preheat your oven. We've got those bacon wraps in there right now at 350. So what we could do is we've got our little casserole dish that we're gonna dump this in. We've got a little bit of a stick of butter in here, but you know, butter's good, but what's better than butter? Bacon fat. So we'll just put a little bit of that in there, just enough to coat the bottom, because you don't want your bottom burning. So we'll just go ahead and we'll coat the bottom of that dish with some bacon grease. And remember, if you're wrapping scallops in bacon and you're doing all kinds of different things with bacon, why not do a little bit of crab meat and everything else? we're just gonna dump all this right in here. Spread it out. Boy, that's gonna be good. And then we've got some leftover greens here. We're just gonna take these and chop them up a little bit. Again, we'll add a little color. And we're just gonna take this and throw this in the oven. And when we come back, it's gonna be time to make some olive pesto. We're gonna pull our bacon wraps out of the oven, and I'm gonna be digging into this crab dip. Hey, and welcome back, y'all. We're really excited because we've got those bacon wraps in the oven. We've got that easy and fast crab dip in the oven. We've had another cocktail, and we're ready to talk about a few other things. First of all, I wanna give a great shout out to a great company. If anybody needs any architectural design, Kaiser Design Group is the way to go. We're really happy to be working with them and love the projects they do. So now we're gonna get something really easy. We've thrown those things in the oven. We've got a few minutes to kind of kick back. We've poured ourselves another drink. Who doesn't love olives? You want something easy, you want something fast, clean up really nicely. So what we're gonna do is we've gone and gotten a few different types of marinated olives, gotten our food processor. I had thrown some green onion in there and didn't realize that I had left the food processor on. So I plugged it in and just whoop. So pay attention to what you're doing, folks. Bourbon or no bourbon. We're just gonna grab some green olives. We've actually marinated some of these in olive oil and in garlic. Again, we're talking about me. We're just gonna throw those in. We've got some other olives here that we're gonna start using. Remember, no pits, folks. And then we've got some green Spanish with pimento to add a little extra color. God, that's good. So we're gonna add these little Spanish olives in with some pimentos. Super easy. You can do this actually a couple of days in advance. And some people love them with balsamic vinegar added in, and some people really don't. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna actually add some grated Parmesan. And that's gonna soak up some of that oil that's in there. And of course, we're gonna use some of our roasted garlic. Look at that. Well, you know, they say just use a little bit, but again, remember my party guests, they're all gonna smell like garlic, so it's okay. We're gonna add a little bit of olive oil here. This is where you can use a better olive oil if you'd like. Louisiana hot sauce. We're always gonna kick things up a little bit extra. And we're just gonna go ahead and kind of get this thing going. Now remember, we're just gonna kind of get this moving here, and we're gonna get these things good and beaten up here. We're gonna make sure they're chopped really well. You really shouldn't do this while the thing's still plugged in, but that's okay. And I like things more of a country style, so I leave things a little bit rougher. Some people like it really fine. It doesn't work for me. So we've got this going now, and we've got some great colors. A lot of times you can add in some onions, some fresh parsley, but today we kind of kept it simple. It smells really good. And just remember, get a good, crusty, smaller French baguette here, and you're just gonna cut up little pieces. Sometimes, if you really wanna get fancy, you can take a little bit of butter and a little bit of garlic and baste them on, brush them on there, and just toast them. You can serve them just like this. I've been known to actually take my bacon fat, brush them with bacon fat, sprinkle a little garlic, and then let people serve this on there. A super easy way to go about and do things. Well, our crab dip's almost ready. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pull that out because it's gonna take a few minutes to cool off, and you want that to actually be able to set a little bit before you serve it. You don't wanna serve it right out of the oven, because what's gonna happen is that crab dip is gonna just be piping hot, and you don't wanna be burning people with it. Just remember, you can find all of these recipes, you can find all the information about everything on our show by going to our Facebook page, our Twitter account. Now we're gonna go in the oven, we're gonna pull the crab meat dip out and see what we've got going on here. It smells wonderful. It's toasted up nicely. And by putting that bacon grease on there, look at that. Absolutely delicious. Can't wait to just grab a fork and go at it. Now, I would always suggest put a little serving spoon, a little something in here, let people go for it. But you know, nobody's here and it's just me, so we're just gonna go ahead and look at that. That hot crab meat, all that cheese. little bit of that bacon grease soaking in there. That's good stuff. And this is gonna be hot as all heck, so be careful. Oh yeah, real hot. Best part is you can wash it down with a little bit of this. Takes some of the burn away and gives you a different kind. Our olive tapenade is super easy and ready to go. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go in that oven, we're gonna pull out our bacon wraps, and we're gonna make sure that those are looking good and smelling good. Our whole kitchen is smelling like them right now. Oh yeah. Now that's looking good, y'all. Look at that, a little bit of grease floating around in there. That cream cheese has popped out the sides. We've got a lot of garlic going on. These are good and hot. You wanna let them sit. It takes 2 or 3 minutes to let them set up really good. Don't worry, they're not gonna stick because you don't have, you've got that grease going from the bacon, so they're not burned on there. They'll pop right off when it's time to go. So, we've told a few stories today. We've talked a little bit about some great food, and we've made a wonderful drink or two, or 3 or 4. But we've had a good time today. We're gonna do a few more things. We're gonna wrap this up, but remember, next week, we're going brunch. You've heard me talk about Ma and her biscuits. You've heard me talk about fig preserves and cane syrup and all those delicious things. Of course, we're gonna use bacon. This is a Southern show. I've got bacon coming out of my ears at this point. It's always a good thing. We're gonna have a lot of fun next week. There's gonna be a lot of stories about Ma, and I know I'll be nostalgic. It's always gonna be good. It's always gonna be a good party. And we can't wait to see you guys next week. Be sure and check out the website. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter, and we are gonna have an absolutely great time next week. Looking forward, and dig in, y'all. Here, nobody will know that I'm doing this. It's my kitchen, I can do what I want. This is gonna be really good. Try that again. God, these smell good. Oh, they're hot though. Oh, that's good. No roof in my mouth now, but boy, that's good. It's a shame y'all can't have any of this yet.